Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to welcome Vladimir Petkovic, the coach of the Swiss team, for the post-match press conference. And let's start with the questions for Mr. Petkovic. Who wants to start? Please raise your hands if you have questions. Start here. Left.
Laurent Ducret, question d'NTS. Mister, est-ce qu'on était en droit d'attendre davantage?
Could we have expected maybe more from this Swiss team today?
Ja, schwierig zu sagen.
Well, it's hard to tell, really. It wasn't an easy game for us. It was a game where we started off well. We had a few chances. But, yeah, England was better in the first half after all. And all in all, I'd say that we showed a solid performance. We faced a team that had greater possession, and sometimes you just have to leave the ball to them if it's a team that is that strong. But first off, I need to congratulate England on that third place that they have achieved, and maybe next time we'll have to practice a little more, practice penalties a little more, because it's the second time for us now that we've lost a match due to penalties. But, you can't really simulate it. It's somebody has to miss in the end. And now, today, it was one of our players, unfortunately.
Question. Is there any other question up there?
Un mot justement sur cette séance.
Just a quick word on this penalty shootout. Had you practiced penalty shootouts or not particularly?
Nein, weil...
No, not really. Our players train quite a lot. They do a little bit of free kick training, a little bit of penalties. But, simulating a penalty shootout or a situation like that is... just difficult after 120 minutes of usual gameplay. When it comes to it, then you just have to go for it. Some of our players actually know how to face a penalty kick like that, and many of our players actually wanted to shoot a penalty.
He's over there.
Boa tarde, André Castro Ribeiro, RTP.
André Castro Ribeiro from RTP. In as much as this is a new tournament for UEFA, what can you tell us about the timing and the tournament itself?
Well, it's basically what I've said so far. I can only repeat what I said. It's a positive experience to me. And I think for European football in general, it just has to be considered as a positive thing. If you look at this Final Four competition, or at the tournament in March next year, the playoffs, then it's going to be some interesting decisions. But you also have to look at the different groups or the different leagues. Maybe sometimes you play against equally powerful teams, and sometimes you're just inferior. But the main thing for us is to establish a winning mentality, and actually you could see that right at the start of the European qualifiers. The smaller teams are actually, they try to tease greater teams a little more and try to play a different football in order to be promoted or be relegated in the Nations League. So it's not just by chance that every team wanted to be here in Portugal in order to take part in this Final Four competition. So that's a positive side. Of course, there are also negative aspects, but you have to just analyze that and improve.
One question here in front.
Peut-être pour conclure, quelles leçons
Just to wrap up, what lessons do you draw from these two games here in Portugal?
Ja, ich glaube, da alles zusammen haben wir.
Well, I think we deserved more than we achieved. Judging from what we showed, the performances that we had, we got a lot of credit for how we played, but unfortunately, it doesn't get us anywhere. It's positive that our team showed some improvement both on the attacking side and on defense. We were able to fight, and they really showed a positive development as a whole. So we can also use these two games to get accustomed to playing such powerful teams such as England, and maybe in the end we can also be better than those teams. And it's definitely a good thing for our young players that have also shown that you can count on them. So the process has been started now, and now we will just have to see where it gets us in September.
If not, then this was the closing question before. Thank you very much. Thank you, Vladimir Petkovic.
Dankeschön.
Danke, Lars.